Welcome to another round of Charleston Battery Weekly here with OSG Sports and the SDH Networks. It is postseason time in the USL Championship, so we're going to catch up with action in Group G and Group H. We'll put a bow on the regular season. Tampa Bay losing to the Charleston Battery, and Charleston Battery getting the win. Stavros Zarokostas is player spotlight. His brace means that he is going to be in the B block, but coming up just around the corner, it is Mike Kelleher for his round of Special K, as always. So it's Mike. It is Stavros, it is you, and it is me for another round of Charleston Battery Weekly. Stick and stay. Mike Kelleher around the corner. We'll be right back.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolinski of Apolinski & Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolinski of Apolinski & Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Welcome back, Charleston Battery Weekly. It's the A block, which means it's Special K. Time to catch up with Mike Kelleher. Mike, congrats on the win again over Tampa Bay.
Hi, John. Many thanks. Yeah, a good victory, and looking forward to Saturday now.
All right, so Stavros Zarokostas gets his first brace. What's it been like to see his game grow and evolve over this season to come up with that moment, those moments that were big last time out?
Yeah, he's done really well, and obviously, capped with the 2 goals in Tampa. He seized his opportunity. I think we saw a young man doing well in his position before, Romario Piggott, who unfortunately is now out for the season. But it's all about seizing your opportunity when it comes along, and Stavros has certainly done that.
And at the same time, defense looked a little different with Coach Anhauser using Leland Archer, Deshaun Nemhard, who we've seen, Radico Clark, and Kyle Nelson. That back four worked really well for you coming out of the blocks.
They did, and again, back to seizing the opportunity. I think we were down in Florida for just about 4 or 5 days, and he wanted to give everybody a game. There's nothing worse than doing all that travelling and not playing, not getting any field time. So we knew we'd qualified for the playoffs. The points were still important, but that's the thing of having a squad. It's a squad game, and the players stepped up and did their jobs on the night.
Well, and at the same time, the way that I've kind of described this season is with a Star Trek reference, is that coaches have to play Vulcan 3D chess, the game that has all of the different chess boards on it, and you can move one from the top and go to game number 6 and all these kinds of things. And I think that this has been probably one of the biggest coaching challenges for Charleston for the USL. I mean, pick your league, pick your team, pick your place on the planet. And to have to think about things in 3 dimensions this season. And I think that Charleston has really navigated that very well with schedule compression and everything else going on.
Yeah, and I think, I heard Mike Anhauser on your show last week, no different to what they've experienced in the past. It was very much going on the road, playing 2, sometimes 3 games back to back. And Mike's got that experience of how to handle players. He made reference when we were talking before the Florida trip that, there's nothing worse. He as a player would travel long journeys and not play. So I think it's managing your group, managing the squad, looking what's coming up the road and what's next, and it, obviously he's done a fantastic job of that, and long may it continue.
When you look at the regular season, since it has now been placed in the rearview mirror, what sticks out to you about the regular season in general, whether it's on the field, off the field, everything involving the gap that we've been involved in? What were some of your bigger regular season takeaways about this season in the USL Championship?
I think the fact that we got it done, John, that we actually played. You think we've talked before about the time when we were, are we coming back? Aren't we coming back? What's it going to look like? We've now done it. We've achieved it. And you look at, let's just look at the NFL, for example. Obviously a far bigger league, one of the biggest leagues in the world, if not the biggest, and they're struggling right now with some issues with players and COVID tests and positive tests, I should say. And we've done it. We've achieved it. It's very hard keeping a group of young men in the bubble, so to speak, as we hear. And it's been done. So kudos to the whole league for that matter, to putting teams on their own pitches, on their own stadiums, whether they've got fans or not, and getting the season done. So it's been a huge accomplishment.
And at the same time, I think that once again it speaks to the players that have been assembled by you and the front office and Coach Anhauser, that they've accepted that personal responsibility. They understand the larger picture here. They understand the impact that decisions can make off the field that can immediately impact what goes on the field. And I think that it speaks highly to the organization across the board how you've all responded in this trying time. No,
and that's very true, John. We took it seriously from day one. We nailed it down. That's from the ownership, all the way down to everybody in the club and in the organisation that we was going to take the whole thing seriously, and not that we shouldn't, but it's borne through, and the players themselves, to be commended, and that they. We went without a couple of scares. We had a couple of early scares, and I think that made the point that this is serious, and if we don't adhere to it, you're not going to play. We're not going to play, and we didn't want that.
What have you learned about yourself as an executive going through this season here in 2020?
I think said it before. Flexibility, adaptability. You need to change on the fly. Sometimes you can't be set in your ways. This was totally new for everybody in all walks of life, and it was obviously is still ongoing despite us finishing our season. That the COVID situation is still here. It seems to be getting worse in Europe, but it's for me it's remain positive. I think I'm a very positive person, but become adaptable to whatever's thrown at you.
All right, so now it's conference quarterfinal time, and it is time for everybody to fill out their brackets. Mm-hmm. You can't have a sport without filling out a bracket, and the USL Championship this season is no different. You've gone through the group stage in the World Cup, and now it's knockouts.
Yeah.
And it's against Charlotte. So it's another Carolina derby, but now Charlotte's next on the list.
Yeah, look. When we knew we couldn't host, I think the next best is Charlotte because they're 3 hours away. We thought it was going to be Birmingham. They were in pole position going into Saturday night, and we were kind of gearing up for a 7-hour bus journey to Birmingham. And obviously, we'd have seen whichever game it was going to be, we'll be looking forward to it. But the fact that it's just up the in our, I was talking to someone from London earlier today. 3 hours is just up the road, and they laughed. But the fact that it is just up the road for us, we're excited, looking forward to it. We're familiar with them. Played them earlier this season. It should be a good game.
And then Tampa Bay and then Birmingham Legion are low right as you're filling out your brackets. And I don't want any predictions unless you want to put on the prediction hat. not in your mini bracket, but I'm just saying when you look at the other matchups across the board, you're looking at St. Louis and Hartford. You're looking at Pittsburgh and Lou City on the right-hand side. On the left side in the West, it's New Mexico, San Antonio, it's Tulsa, El Paso, Sacramento, Phoenix, LA, and Reno. What do you think?
Some very, very good teams in there, John. It's the last 16. I think everybody who's in at this stage is probably thinking we're 3 games from the final. So it's there's some strong teams in there. There's some familiar faces in there again. I think Louisville, Pittsburgh is the one I think a lot of people are talking about, and see who comes out there. We'd obviously, from our point of view, we'd like to see Birmingham win in Tampa, because we would host that game. No more than nothing to do with the rivalry there, but the fact that we'd like to have a home game and put that one on for our fans. But no, Phoenix obviously still in there. They'll be strong, and will. San Antonio have had a great regular season. So let's see what comes out. But we're obviously focused on Charlotte.
And at the same time, we've talked about the established franchises that are making their impact in the league. Charleston obviously is one of them. Birmingham is one of those new places. New Mexico is one of those new places. El Paso is one of those new places. Hartford, after the season they had 2 seasons ago and moving their way forward, they're a new face in here. What's it like to see the playoff structure grow where you're seeing these new faces as well?
I think it's good. It adds to the strength of the league. You want new teams. I think the NFL, we're only good as our weakest franchise, I think they say. So I think the fact that these teams are coming in and performing well on the field adds to the strength of the USL, and hopefully that long may that continue. We want to be part of the strong league. We want to be here for many, many years to come, and the fact that they're doing this in probably the toughest season on record in terms of revenue is to be commended, and looking forward to playing whoever it may be in the future.
All right, so now that we've got the USL Championship stuff out of the way, how we're going to finish this segment. We have to talk about West Ham here.
Oh.
7 goals in your last 2 matches in the Premier League. 4-0 against Wolves, 3-0 against Leicester. This is some high cotton that West Ham is in right now. Where did all these goals come from? Did you ship some from here over the
Yeah, no, it's no one. I mean, I think no one saw it coming, John. Again, I have a good friend of mine I was talking to earlier at West Ham, and everyone is a little bit. It was very unexpected. Again, we talked about off the field stuff and all that, and to go to Leicester and win 3-0, and it was a really good performance as well. I watched the game, and they were very much in control. No one saw it coming. Mikel Antonio was doing really well up front. I think he scored the most goals I read since restart. Back in June, it's who knows. I think that the only problem now is I think they need a couple of players just as reinforcements, because as the games start piling up, no doubt some of that starting 11 will get injured, and what's to replace them, and I think that's the biggest problem for West Ham right now.
All right, middle of the table in 10th, obviously with the international weekend coming up, nothing happening, but next weekend in about 9 days' time, it'll be Tottenham next up. There's that gaggle of teams from 6 to 10, 7 points and 6 and things like that, and I know that you will be looking forward to all of that as well. It's always fun for me to talk Premier League with you as well.
Sure.
What are your plans for the weekend? Are you traveling, or are you going to be watching from home?
Yeah, so I'm going to Charlotte. I've set up about lunchtime on Saturday. There's a couple of us going from the office that we're going to go down there, and Charlotte have gratefully allowed us to come and watch the game. They're still under some heavy restrictions there in terms of fans. So we're looking forward to seeing it firsthand. So I'll be there.
Mike, as always, great to catch up with you here for Special Case Stavros Zarokostas Around the Corner. We will catch up with you again next week.
Thank you, John.
Player Spotlight coming up just around the corner on Battery Weekly. SDH Network's OSG Sports will be back in 2 and 2.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolensky of Apolensky and Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency, or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolensky of Apolensky and Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Welcome back to Charleston Battery Weekly. Player Spotlight time. Time to catch up with a returnee, the first returnee of the season when it comes to Battery Weekly, Stavros Zarokostas. Stavros, thanks for hanging out again.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. So what do you want to talk about first, the win or your brace? Dealer's choice.
We'll talk about the win because I think that was really important, especially going into playoffs with that. I think it's really going to give us that momentum, that confidence going into playoffs that we need. You know, coming back from a disappointing result from Miami, I think coming back beating Tampa away really put a statement and really gave the team the confidence we needed, the confidence we deserve to have.
When it comes to going up against Tampa Bay this season, Charleston really had the Rowdies' number. What was it, do you think, that you guys saw, not to give away any state secrets to maybe Birmingham or something that you want to for round one of the playoffs, but what was it going into these Tampa Bay games that gave you guys that edge where the rest of the league was still trying to figure them out?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think overall we tend to have a really strong performance against Tampa Bay. Defense really locked it down. You know, they did get that goal, but overall, you know, we haven't been giving them all that much other than the first time we played them. And coach says it all the time. If you don't concede, you're bound to score, and then that's all you need, you know. So I think the defensive side of our play really helps us.
What was the conversation like for you guys after the game against Miami leading into the game against Tampa Bay, knowing how important those matches were? You have to shake off one to get ready for another one against an opponent that's right there with you at the top of the standings. What were the conversations like amongst the guys?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, coach led us there, and he basically said, you know, what's happened. We can't change it. We need to put this behind us, learn from it. But just focus on what's next. You know, it's crunch time now. You can't really look back. You just got to keep moving forward. And obviously, we did learn. Just kind of woke us up. Maybe even it's a good thing, you know, to humble us a little bit. Not that we were, you know, arrogant in the first place, but just to wake us up a little bit. And yeah, we try to put it behind us.
So let's go through your two goals. What do you remember in the run-up to both of them? And go through both of your goals for me. What do you remember?
Yeah, the first one was a great ball by Mauro. You know, those channel runs that I like to make. Played a good ball, and I just didn't give up on the play. Was able to go a little wide of the box and cut inside and get a shot off. You know, every time you get a shot off, you have a chance of scoring. So I was fortunate that I was able to go in. And the second one, I was just I tried to play Temi in, and he was very clever giving it back to me, and I just, you know, one time redirected, try to put it on frame, and you know, it was my lucky day because I got two instead of just one. So yeah, definitely a good day.
When was the last time you had a brace in a game?
Junior year of college, I think. So against Bryant. Way in Rhode Island, yeah. So it's been a while, you know.
So from that moment against Brian to us talking today, how has your game grown and how have you advanced as a soccer player since that day to this one? Between your braces, how have you evolved?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've grown a lot, even as a player, as a person. You know, coming to this professional environment, obviously, my understanding of the game. I usually played winger in college. I've been playing a bit of a striker. I go back and forth, left midfield, but definitely learning to play striker was very new. Even when I was with Red Bulls at first, that was a big adjustment, and then I think when I came to Charleston is when I was really able to understand it, and everyone helped me out with that. So I think playing that striker position is a lot different, than playing the winger. And in my game, just again, like understanding soccer IQ definitely is the biggest difference, I'd say.
What have you been able to learn from a coach like Mike Anhauser that has helped you along in that same word?
Just like small habits that are good to develop, that are often overlooked, that will just give you an edge every single time, and just getting rid of bad habits and developing good ones. He's big on that, which I think has really helped me, and will give you that. It's not a noticeable thing on the outside, but on the inside, it really helps you improve your game.
All right, playoff time. Now that you've made it through the World Cup group stage, which is basically the best way that I could come up with what this season's been. Now it's knockouts, and it is Charlotte. What has study hall been like getting ready for the Independents?
Yeah, definitely. We have to respect them. They're a good team. But I think we need to go in with confidence because we're a good team. And I think if we go in playing the way we've been playing all season, I don't think we'll have a problem. Everyone's very confident, and everyone's really excited to go do what we have to do.
And I know at the same time it's only, as Mike Kelleher and I were talking in the first segment, it's only a 3-hour bus ride. So that obviously helps out when it comes to preparation, conditioning, rolling off the bus. Your body's not a pretzel, and like it would have been if you go to Birmingham or something like that. So from a travel perspective, I think that a shorter trip obviously is going to help you here too. Yeah, definitely a benefit there. We get a good practice session in, drive up, and then get loose and just get ready for the game. There's not too many distractions. We can focus on what we have to do, and it's always good. Has your family reached out to you this season at all? Have they been watching the matches when they've had the chance? How are they keeping track of what you've been up to this year? Yeah, everyone's really excited. Obviously, it's tough for them to visit and watch live because of everything going on, but they have definitely been supporting and watching. My father was in Greece, and he was able to figure out a way to watch it from Greece, so that meant a lot. And actually, when he came back, the first game he watched live was against Tampa and saw my brace. So that was a special moment, and I know they're really excited, and it makes me excited to make them excited. So I'm playing for not just myself and my team. I'm playing for my family as well. So what was that? Was it a text conversation or a phone conversation? The first contact you had after the game? FaceTime in the bus. Sorry, I'm an old guy, so that's why I went with okay, so what was the FaceTime conversation like after the match when you're on the bus? Well, it was noisy, so we couldn't really talk in depth, but it's just the fact that I could see the smile on his face. He was excited. He had some people over, so it was nice. It felt good to be able to get my family excited like that. Wow, Stavros, congrats on the brace, congrats on the win, and now as we head into the knockout stages of the USL Championship, obviously we'll be keeping an eye with Group G and Group H going at it. Be safe, be well, good luck this weekend, and have another brace while you're at it. We'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for being a part of the Weekly. You too. Thank you very much for having me. Take care. When we come back, we'll put a bow on a show. You're listening to Charleston Battery Weekly. OSG Sports and SDH Networks will be right back after this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolensky of Apolensky and Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolinski of Apolinski and Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Time to put a bow on yet another show for Charleston Battery Weekly. Thanks for hanging out with us as always. Thanks to Mike Kelleher. Thanks to Stavros Zarokostas. 7 o'clock, October 10th. So Saturday night, 7 o'clock. It is Charleston at Charlotte, ESPN Plus on the ESPN family of networks, however you like to access the Plus. The stage is set, Group G versus Group H, and it is the knockout phase from here on out. If, as Mike said early in the show, if the Battery win, and then you have Birmingham knock off Tampa Bay, then it looks like Charleston would host in the next round of the playoffs. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on all the USL Championship postseason action as we go. Go to charlestonbattery.com for all the news that's fit to print. Get your 2020 merch and keep up with everything going on around the USL Championship as we are now in the postseason. Once again, thanks to you for hanging out with us however you are doing so. Thanks to the Charleston Battery, as always, for making all this happen. We'll find out what happened after next week. So enjoy the games, everybody. Play it safe. We'll see you next time.